Canada's busiest airport, testing what happens when you have to cancel a flight. When that happens, Canada's big airlines, Air Canada, WestJet and Porter, give you a credit. So here's what we want to know. Are all airline travel credits created equal? First stop, a trip to Charlottetown PEI, where Keith Dean booked a trip on Air Canada but had to cancel. So he got a credit for $898.
He said that there was no problem, and I could use the credit whenever I felt that I needed to use it.
We call Canada's airlines to find out if there's a time limit on their travel credits.
If I change my travel plans, can I get a credit?
Air Canada tells us
you can have a credit for yourself for 1 year.
WestJet,
a WestJet credit, good for 1 year.
And Porter,
That's credit for a year for you to rebook.
Yep, all the airlines have a standard 1 year time frame to use your credit. So, a few months later, Keith tries to use that credit to book another flight. But that flight's only $400. So, get this. The Air Canada agent tells him he's going to lose what's left over in his credit, almost $500.
Yes, I felt completely 100% robbed. It was just ridiculous.
To see how that flies with a business and marketing prof, we head to Simon Fraser University.
Hi, Lindsay. Erica.
To talk to Lindsay Meredith.
Air Canada says it gets to keep the remainder of any credit a customer doesn't use up. What do you think about that?
I think from a marketing perspective, it's a bit of a disaster. If you went into Future Shop, for example, bought a TV for $900, took it back, looked at another TV, bought that for $400, and Future Shop says, thanks a lot, we'll pocket the other $5. You know what? There'd be a consumer revolution you could hear around the world.
To find out what all the airlines do if you can't use up all your credit when you book your next flight,
Can I use my remaining credit for another flight?
we call WestJet. They let you keep your leftover credit for another flight. So does Porter. But sure enough, Air Canada's policy says any non-refundable amount remaining unused after booking a new flight is forfeited. So what's Professor Lindsay Meredith think about how Air Canada's handling their travel credits?
A business model like that I find pretty much tragic. If any of my students came up with that policy, they'd find the door in one hell of a hurry.
Turns out with Air Canada, to use up your full credit, the next flight you book has to be the same price as your credit or more.
One of the key problems of the airline industry is deregulation, and margins are very, very tight. I can understand organizations trying to watch and pinch every dollar. You know what? Pinch them intelligently. Don't pinch them where you have a possibility because you set up a rule where you burned a consumer badly. That's the wrong way to save money.
12 months pass by and the clock runs out on Keith's credit. He's out $898.
I didn't use it within the expiry period, and they kept my money. If I'm lying, I'm dying.
So will he ever fly with Air Canada again?
Never. I will never fly with Air Canada again.
We ask Air Canada why they're the only airline that doesn't let you bank the remainder of your credit for another flight. And hey, they tell us, we are reviewing our policy in order to give our customers more flexibility and make multiple purchases until they use all the residual value. But until then, we say, Air Canada, you're busted for not making it easy to use up a flight credit and leaving customers out in the cold.